Every day on social media, pro-black trolls will go from page to page calling people coons and house niggas. They think any black person that disagrees with them is a coon. They also do this on Facebook. All over Facebook every day, they call people coons. You're a coon, you're a coon, you're a coon. What blows me away about these so-called pro-blacks is they never call the drug dealers coons. They never call the gangbangers coons. They never call the people coons who are destroying the black community. They never call the people who are killing black children every day coons. But they will call somebody a coon who has a different opinion. And a lot of these so-called pro-blacks think the biggest problem in the black community are the coons. It's not the drug dealers. It's not the gangbangers. It's the coons. They think the coons are the biggest problem in the black community. Now, where most of these pro-black trolls get their talking points from is Tariq Nasheed. Tariq Nasheed started the whole coon talking points. He started the whole talking point of calling somebody a coon just because they have a different opinion. A black person who has a different opinion is not a coon. I think a black person that openly hates their own race, I think skin bleaching is self-hating. I think a lot of things that are self-hating in the black community. But having a difference of opinion is not a coon. Having a difference of opinion doesn't make someone a self-hater. But what blows me away about a lot of these so-called pro-blacks, they will demonize any black person who has a difference of opinion. But they won't demonize the drug dealers. They won't demonize the gangbangers. They won't demonize the Bloods and Crips killing thousands of black children every year. Every year, the Bloods and Crips kill thousands of black children. But you won't see these pro-blacks calling them coons. They won't even call them goons. My point of making this video is that the goons are worse than the coons. The goons are 10 times worse than the coons. A black person who has a difference of opinion is not hurting the black community. But a black person that's going around killing black children every day is hurting the community. There's a YouTube rapper named TK47. Now TK47, this boy is 17 years old. He's been on the run for killing another black man. He killed a black man named Ethan Walker. Now after killing this black man, the liberal judge gave him house arrest. Instead of sending his ass to prison, he gave him house arrest until his trial started. He cut off the ankle miter bracelet, and then he went on the run, and then he killed somebody else. So this man has, this 17-year-old boy has killed 2 people. He's killed 2 people. But you're not going to see pro-blacks call him a coon. They're not going to call him a sellout. They're not going to demonize him whatsoever. If anything, they're praising him as being cool. They're praising him as being a real nigga that's down for the cause. This is how a lot of these pro-blacks look at everything. They look at everything backwards. A lot of these younger pro-blacks, they look at everything backwards. These pro-blacks have more respect for TK47 than they do for Stephen A. Smith. They have more respect for TK47 than they do for Jason Whitlock. They have more respect for TK47 than they do for Ben Carson. They have more respect for TK47 than they do for any black person that they're labeling a coon. They think the coons are worse than the goons, when in actuality, the goons are worse than the coons. The goons are the ones killing the majority of black people. We can try to act like white men are the ones killing black people, but the majority of homicides are from goons. The majority of black homicides are coming from goons like this fool right here. But these pro-blacks, they won't protest against the goons. They won't protest against the gangbangers. They won't protest against these thugs killing black people every day, killing black people by the thousands. They will actually praise the thugs and goons as being the heroes, as there's something heroic about being a thug. The thugs get more respect than the coons do. This is how it makes no sense whatsoever. There's a black woman who's a Donald Trump supporter. Now, this black woman is beautiful. She wears her hair natural. She's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. She's very positive. You watch her YouTube videos, she's very positive. But she's called a coon because she supports Donald Trump. Now, I don't support Donald Trump. But if another black person wants to support Donald Trump, that's their business. That's their opinion. I don't think a black person should be called a coon or called a house nigga just because they support Donald Trump. People have different political views. People have different perspectives on looking at certain things. And having a different political view is a person that just has a different opinion. How is this black woman worse than KK-47? How is this black woman worse than he is? But pro-blacks, there's some pro-blacks out there that think she's worse than KK-47. They think she's worse than he is. And KK-47 is going out here killing black people. He's killed 2 black people so far. But they think she's worse than he is. Every day this woman is called a coon. She's called a house nigga. She's given death threats for simply being a black Donald Trump supporter. Just because she has a different political view, she's called a coon, she's called a house nigga. But you're not going to see any of these pro-blacks call KK-47 a coon. They're never going to call him a house nigga. They're never going to call him a sellout, even though he's going out here and killing black people. So if you really stop and think about it, who are the real coons? Who are the real self-haters in the black community? Is it the black person who has a difference of opinion? Or is it the drug dealers and thugs who are killing our black community? Tyreek and his brainwashed followers have completely lost all sense of reality. This is why I don't support today's conscious movement. Because today's conscious movement are a group of idiots who are claiming to be conscious, but they're really not conscious. They're really not aware of what's really going on. They're really not aware of the real problems in the black community. This is why I tell people all the time that there's a difference between the old school pro-blacks and today's younger pro-blacks. The old school pro-blacks were about bringing black people together. They were about equality. They were about peace. You didn't see old school pro-black leaders like Martin Luther King calling people coons and bedwenches. But you see these young idiots going around calling any black person that disagrees with them a coon, a bedwench, a house nigga. These young pro-blacks create more division in the black community than any white supremacist does. This is why Tariq Nasheed is worse than any white supremacist. And any person that follows his ignorant bullshit is a weak-minded individual. People need to wake up and start thinking for themselves. Stop being a blind follower of somebody else's talking points. And this word coon, the word coon was created by white supremacists. Our ancestors were called coons during slavery. Our ancestors were called bedwenches during slavery. Our ancestors were called house niggas during slavery. Why would any person take a word that was created by their oppressor and use it against their own people? You don't see Jews calling each other kites. You don't see Mexicans calling each other wetbacks. They don't take their oppressor's words and use these words against their own people. So people need to wake up and stop being ignorant. Start thinking for yourself and stop being a blind follower.